is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining your boy. Yes. How you doing? I appreciate you joining me, man. I'm going to get right into it. And this is the Funky Four Show from this past weekend. And a great weekend in the world of sports because we had the NFL Draft. Now, the draft only comes around once a year, and I really cherish it. Most football fans do. Because there's a lot of drama. You're talking about a lot of guys taking a big step in their life, a lot of guys that have been working on their craft for a very long time, putting in a lot of work. And so it's the culmination to a lot. You know, like I said, the work that they put in, some people for their entire lives to get to this point. So it's a huge deal. I had an actual younger cousin of mine get drafted in the 4th round. He thought, and we thought, some of the experts said that he would go a lot higher, and he actually didn't. Bruce Ellington, former South Carolina Gamecock, got drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in the 4th round. So congratulations to him, and I know the work that that young man has put in. Just a tremendous amount of work. So the thing about the draft is, it's hope, okay? If your team sucked the year before, you can actually turn things around. We've seen it before. We've seen the St. Louis Rams before, go from worst to first. We've seen a lot of teams, not be very good the year before and actually make some very good moves, sign some guys and free agents, and, turn things around fairly fast. So it gives you hope, that actually this year your team won't suck that bad, okay? But back to the actual crux of what we're going to talk about, and that's the 4 biggest things that I took from the NFL Draft, and you are watching the Doug Stewart Show. Number 1 is Jadeveon Clowney being drafted number 1. There was a lot of hoopla surrounding whether he should be taken number 1 because he actually had a down year based on previous years at the University of South Carolina. Should he actually even play this year? A lot of people were talking about he should sit out and wait until he could actually get in the draft and make some money. Why should he play for South Carolina and make South Carolina all this money? So there was a lot of that type of conversation going on. Seemed like that he wasn't giving 100% effort all the time. Had these little nagging injuries that people were questioning. I never questioned them. Bottom line is this. The Houston Texans had to take him number 1 because he was clearly the most phenomenal athlete we may have seen in the last, 15, 20 years. You're talking 6'6", 270 pounds. Ran in mid 4.5s at the combine. So just a freakish athlete, and you have to get after the quarterback. You're going to be chasing after Andrew Luck for the next decade, hopefully, if you're Jadeveon Clowney. So the thing about that, and I think the final decision you have to look at when you're a GM is, if I don't take this guy and he turns out to be what everybody thinks that he can, I'm going to look like an a-hole. I mean, I am, because he was right there for the taking. And conversely, years later, even if he turns out to be a bust, I don't think anybody could question you and say, well, you shouldn't have taken him, because there's not a person on this planet that wouldn't have taken Jadeveon Clowney. And after the fact that they said they wouldn't have taken him, another GM or another team or whatever, you have somebody in football saying, we wouldn't have taken him, they'd be lying. Bottom line, they'd be lying. So Jadeveon Clowney, congratulations. Number 1 pick overall to the Houston Texans. Make South Carolina proud. And handle your business. Work hard, stay humble, and do the damn thing. Number 2 biggest story in the Funky 4 big stories from this year's NFL Draft, the 2014 NFL Draft, is Johnny Manziel being taken number 22 by the Cleveland Browns, 22nd in this year's draft. And I think it's a great pick by Cleveland. They needed a quarterback. Not sure about the quarterbacks that they have on the roster right now. Not sure if they're the long-term answer. Johnny Manziel did it all. Won a Heisman Trophy, an absolute electrifying player. And I think if you're Cleveland, you have to do it again because you need a quarterback, and you know that quarterbacks are the most important positions in the NFL based on their productivity over the last couple of years. You got to have a solid quarterback, and I think they did it. Not only do you get a solid quarterback, a guy that I think can get it done, a guy that I've called Doug Flutie 2.0, because I think he's Doug Flutie, who was a solid quarterback when given the opportunity in the NFL. I think he's even a little bit better. Not only are you getting that guy, but you're getting, a brand, okay? You're getting Johnny Football. You're going to be able to sell tickets. I think they sold like 1,500 season tickets the day after they drafted Johnny Manziel, so it's a great thing. The third big thing that I took from the NFL draft this past weekend, the funky 4 biggest things from the NFL draft on the Doug Stewart Show, you're watching the Doug Stewart Show, is the fact that the Dallas Cowboys passed on Johnny Manziel, which I don't get at all. It's not like your quarterback is, I don't know, Troy Aikman or Joe Montana or Terry Bradshaw or anybody like that. Your quarterback's been fairly pedestrian over the last 10 years with Tony Romo. Tony Romo has lost game after game in the clutch. He's not really clutch. He hadn't shown to be clutch. Tony Romo's had 2 back surgeries over the last couple of years. Tony Romo's 34 years old. Why wouldn't you want a guy like Johnny Manziel pushing Tony Romo? Johnny Manziel's a playground legend in the state of Texas, okay? That's a benefit. Johnny Manziel played his college football at Texas A&M, balled out of control. So you're going to sell tickets to Jerry's World if you're Jerry Jones if you draft Johnny Manziel. The fact that you are worried about Tony Romo's fragile psyche and bringing in a backup quarterback that's going to push him is not a winner's attitude. Actually, it's a loser's attitude. Okay, and I'm shocked at Jerry because this seemed like the type of thing that Jerry Jones would do. You know, Jerry Jones is a guy that goes for the headlines a lot of times, to his detriment most of the times. But in this particular case, I think he made a mistake. We'll see. Only time is going to tell if Johnny Manziel pans out to be a great quarterback. But I think that he is. I'm on record. I like Johnny Manziel. I do. I think he has that special something. Okay? I think the guy's a winner. Okay? I think he has a fairly strong arm. It's not in comparison to Tim Tebow or anything like that, another running, scrambling quarterback. I think Johnny Manziel and Tim Tebow are the furthest things from similar. Okay? I think this guy's the real deal, bottom line. We'll see what happens. Time will tell, like I said. We will see. And the fourth biggest thing I took from this weekend's NFL draft, the 2014 NFL draft, is the decline of the running back position. Now, I played running back my entire life during my football career. Little league, high school, college, okay? And the running back position when I was growing up was the glamour position. I guess you could say the quarterback's always been the glamour position as well, but right up there with the quarterback was the running back, okay? The last time a running back was taken number 1 in the draft was 1995 with Kijana Carter out of Penn State. That's 19 years, okay? That's a long time. In the last 2 years, a running back hasn't been taken in the first round, okay? So this year, the Sankey kid from Washington gets drafted in the first round, in the second round, actually. He's the actual first running back off the board. But in years past, man, you've had guys like Bo Jackson and O.J. Simpson and Billy Sims and George Rogers and Earl Campbell and Ricky Bell, guys like that being taken number 1 in the NFL draft. So for 19 years, a running back hasn't been taken number 1. Why has the running back been devalued over the last couple of years? Number 1, I think the main reason, there's a lot of reasons. The main reason, I think, is because the game has changed. There's much more wide open offenses, much more passing attacks. You rarely see, college programs, and really, let's jump to the college aspect of it. In college now, the offense is really predicated on spreading people out. You got the spread offense, and you got read option and those type of things where basically you have one single back, you fake to the back most of the time, you throw quick passes, screen passes, and the flats, this, that, and the other, slanting patterns. So the game is very changed. You need a running back that can catch the ball and block, really. That's the thing. And I also think that NFL teams realize that you can get away with having a couple of good backs, give them a couple of carries, and pay them less money. Therefore, giving more money to your quarterback, which we just talked about, has more of a precedent because it's a wide open game. It's a passing game now as opposed to a running game 10, 15, 20 years ago. So it's just tragic to see that the running back position has been devalued so much. And I don't think we're going to stop seeing that. I don't think that's going to be I don't think that's a downward trend. I think that's actually an upward trend where you're going to see even more and more of that over the next couple of years. Here's a couple of honorable mention things and for my big things that happened with the NFL draft this past weekend. Andre Reed is tripping. The former Buffalo Bills wide receiver still rocking his box like he a bootleg kid and play. I was shocked when he came up there and made the pick for the Buffalo Bills. I'm like, this ninja still got his box. Come on, Andre, let it go, brother, let it go. Odell Beckham Jr., speaking of hairstyles, is rocking the Honey Badger's hairstyle. That's not cute when you have a definitive haircut that we can say you stole from another dude that played on your team, all right? That wasn't cute at all. Ha-ha Dicks wearing George Jefferson's smoking jacket. What the hell's going on with that, bruh? What is that, velvet? It was actually velvet. Ha-ha Dicks, Alabama safety. And the last big thing that I took, honorable mention, not even going to get into it in detail and all like the media has over this past weekend, is the fact that your boy Michael Sam got drafted to the NFL by the St. Louis Rams in the last round, the 7th round. Congratulations to the young man. Good luck to you. We're going to have to see now if you can actually play football on this level, because obviously most teams, most GMs didn't think that you could, the fact that you went this late. But I'm not talking about the football aspect. I hope the young man does well. It's his dream to play in the NFL. What I'm talking about for honorable mention is Michael Sam busting slob on his boyfriend on national TV. Hey, and I guess you say, hey, listen, that's his boyfriend. Some dudes bust slob on their girlfriend on national TV. It's no big deal. It's kind of a big deal, okay? Hey, wow, I didn't see that coming. Whoa, whoa, oh, you talking about reality TV? That's reality TV for your ass. ESPN, I know they didn't see that coming. But when they saw it, they were like, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. So we'll see what happens to Michael Sam. That was interesting, all right? All right, you can email your boy Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. Doug at thedougstewartshow.com.